about it. I've been up late night, Hennessy, about it.
Welcome, world, to another edition of Tings and Ting. And it's your boy, Spider-Man, a.k.a. Black, a.k.a. LoFro U Kno, a.k.a. Black Dragon Phoenix X-Ray Zulu 1. And today, we're going to talk about guns. Now, when I say we're going to talk about guns, I'm not really talking about like getting to all the different specifications of ARs, M4s, AKs, and all this different stuff. Nah. What I want to talk about is, I guess in a sense, is like getting into the philosophy of them and the ideas behind guns. Really, guns in the hand of children and irresponsible adults being the one to profess certain logics to these kids, which to me just doesn't make sense of what they do. Like, one thing you always hear, guns don't kill people, people kill people. Well, people kill people with guns, so hence, guns kill people. Like, I don't understand how you just, and if that is your logic, man, I personally don't understand why you don't break it down further toward people, opposed to just saying guns on people. It's an inanimate. Of course, we know it's a fucking inanimate object, but you say that to children, but then y'all don't ever teach them, hey, this is gun. Like, there's a certain level of discipline that comes with it. There's a certain level of knowledge that you have to have with it. There's a certain level of experience that you need to attain by using this before you can actually say, hey, this is your weapon. You can walk around with this all day. Like, it just blows my mind. And then you get all these activist groups that go crazy when something happens with it. And the only thing they could ever say is, guns don't kill people. You can't tell a gun to go kill somebody. No fucking shit. But you could also give the gun to somebody who shouldn't have a weapon, who shouldn't have a gun. Like what happened recently with that child over in Detroit. I don't want to go too deep into it because I'm pretty sure y'all are already tracking everything. So, quick overview. There's a kid in school. He had some issues. Parents still bought him a gun. The parents are pretty out there, and for guns, they have all these, I'm all for my guns, guns glory in America. Ain't nobody gonna take my guns type of attitude. Give their kids a gun. The kid's flexing online with the gun. He even starts having a whole countdown of what he's going to do with the gun. He follows through with his ideas. Parents go on the lam for a little bit. End up getting caught and arrested in Detroit. Now, the parents and the kid is now facing charges and probably time in jail. That's just one quick example of this shit, man. Now, to defend the guns, I would say, you can't just be like, oh no, there's no need to have guns. There is a need for guns. There is a need. Let's not forget that this ain't fucking way back in the day where ain't nobody got guns and everybody just walking around with fashioned weapons like slingshots, spears, and fucking arrows and bows and shit. Like, this is the world we're living in. I do believe there is a certain level for guns. Does everybody need a fully automatic weapon that shoots like 200 rounds fucking every 30 seconds? No. No, there's no need for everybody that living in modern society for that. There's no reason for civilians to have military grade weapon. There is none. What I do believe, though, is people do have a right to defend themselves by any means. If it just happens to be a weapon, that's a gun, then by all means, have what you need. But have it within reason. If you know somebody is not mentally there, but you still believe that they're good enough to have a weapon, make sure you're breaking down the responsibilities behind the weapon. Make sure you're not just teaching them to squeeze the trigger, just point and squeeze the trigger. There should really be a whole class behind using weapons, explaining what you should really be doing in situations, because not every situation needs a weapon. There are a lot of situations where I'm pretty sure the police had this. It's called escalation of force. You're not just gonna go bust off shots for somebody bumping into you. That makes no sense. That does not justify needing a weapon. You're not gonna pull out a weapon just because somebody's making fun of you. Even down to getting into a fist fight, you shouldn't be pulling out a weapon for that until your life is truly in danger. That's when you should be pulling out the weapon to defend yourself. Because that's like a trump card right here. You're playing Uno, you're playing fucking Crazy Eights. You ain't wasting your fucking trumps. You ain't dropping them fucking spades down. You ain't dropping the wild card down at any fucking moment. In the most rudimentary way, that applies to the same situation. Like, the pulling out a weapon should not be your first response for shit. Kids with guns. I know y'all seen them online. These kids are marksmen and stuff, but I don't think some of y'all parents understand. Those kids that you see shooting like that, those kids learn how to do that because they're entering in tournaments. They have reasons behind that. It's not just like their parents just grow wild hair on their ass and like, oh, you know what? Here you go. Here's the gun there. Go ahead, shoot over there. See, there's reasons behind it. Some of those kids, they grew up hunting, so that's why they have those weapons. You shouldn't. There's no need for your child to be using weapons. Why are you giving them weapons? Let kids be kids at the end of the fucking day, man. There's so many other things they could be doing besides playing with weapons. Adults need to be adults again. They need to actually be responsible adults again, instead of trying to be the best friend, instead of trying to live their life vicariously through their children. Like, this shit's getting out of hand, man. There's kids dying every fucking day because the parents are giving them guns. The parents just carelessly leaving the weapon around. The parents are just that fucking negligent. Like, this shit is ridiculous. There's no reason why so many kids are getting their hands on guns. And even if you're not the parents of the child and you have the guns allowed, because that is another situation too, where they get the guns from like their parents or their friend's older brother or some shit. If you have access to a weapon, any child around you should not have the access to that weapon at any time they want. Because I'm pretty sure those kids that y'all see on YouTube, in tournaments, in movies and shit, they don't have access to the guns on the regular. They only get it when they're practicing with it, when they're doing something constructive with it, like cleaning the weapon, breaking it down. Other than that, it's not just there for them to pull out at any point. Because those adults know, hey, this is still a child. And a child will do craziness. Some of y'all don't even teach y'all children not to point the weapon at people. Like, the weapon should only be pointed at to what you intend to kill, not just out there for playing around. That's how you have all these misfires where kids get shot in the face, get shot in the head, because why? They're playing around with weapons. Anyway, man, that's my quick thoughts on the shit, man. Like, hey, don't put guns in the hands of kids. There's no need for it. There is honestly no need for it. Even down to the tournaments. Like, to be honest, kids shouldn't really be shooting around with weapons or so. What's next? Like, they're going to start giving children rocket launchers just because they look cool. You see a little child with an RPG, you think that's a badass picture, so now you're going to get your kids RPGs, so you're going to get them AT-4 rockets. What's next? Claymores? See the kid with the little clacker just like, yeah, that looks bad. No, man, stop doing all this dumb shit for clout. Stop doing this shit to live through your kids. Stop doing this shit because you're some paranoid motherfucker that believes this World War III about to kick off any day now. And you're making sure everybody's ready. There's no true need for these kids to have these guns, man. There's none. Anyways, man, this has been your boy LoFro U Kno. This has been Inside the Pocket. This has been a subsidiary of the Better Bro Podcast, baby. Don't forget to like, comment, share, subscribe. Check us out on all the platforms, baby. Let's go, man. Hey. I've been up